My name is Chelsea, and this happened in 2008. I would go to work, come home, cook dinner for my husband, then lay on the couch every day. I'm pretty ugly, so my husband doesn't really interact with me so much. So I would constantly look up weird stuff on my laptop to keep myself entertained. So one day, my friend came over on my day off while my husband was at work, and I told her how bored I was with all of this garbage on the internet. She mentioned what we know now as the dark web, and began explaining it to me. She let me know that drugs were sold there, hitmen are advertised there, and that I can watch weird and crazy videos on there. Something like YouTube, but for the sick and demented. I told her I want to check it out, so we did. We went on this website called CoolTube. At first the videos were boring, then the weird stuff began to be recommended. I clicked on a channel called Leprechaun Charlie. We watched a video of a guy slowly fading away, if you know what I mean. He was laying in the bed and looked very sick. He was breathing rapidly with his stomach going up and down fast. Then it just stopped. Then there was a man that walked from behind the camera, what looked like a man. He was dressed like a leprechaun. He was also a very small person, what we call little people. He walked on the stool to see on the bed because he was so short. He looked down at the guy, walked out of the view of the camera, and came back with a pot. It said the word gold on it. He smelled the pot, looked at the camera, and said that it smells like gold, and he laughed. He stood over the body that was on the bed and turned the pot upside down. A clump of what looked like chocolate came out of the pot and landed on the person in the bed. The rest of the chocolate in the pot was coming out slowly. It looked stupid. We paused the video and wrote a comment that said, "This is foolish and fake." It wasn't in my name, so what's the harm in commenting? Not even 20 seconds later, Leprechaun Charlie replied and said, "We'll see, Chelsea." I was surprised that he knew my name, and I asked my friend how he knew my name. She told me that he could have possibly used my IP address, but I thought that was hidden. So of course, we got off. Weeks go by, then I received an email from a very weird email. Usually I wouldn't open emails from weird names, but the subject said Leprechaun Charlie. When I opened it, all it said was, "We'll see." I immediately called my friend because she was the only person that knew about this. I told her and she seemed shocked, but I laughed it off and I blamed her, but she denied it. The next night, while sitting in my front living room, I saw something out the corner of my eye run across my lawn, then behind a bush. I looked out, but I thought I might have seen a raccoon. We had a lot of those, especially at night. A few minutes later, I received another email from a weird email again, with the same subject, Leprechaun Charlie, with an attached video. I clicked on it. Laying down on the bed was my friend. Then the leprechaun guy appeared from behind the camera. He had a pot in his hand like last time. He smelled what was in it and said it smelled like gold. He walked over to my friend and she began to scream, then I turned it off. I sat there in silence for about a few seconds. I moved my curtains back and this guy was dressed like a leprechaun, just standing there. He then began to scream for me to watch the whole video. I screamed and my husband ran downstairs. I told him what happened and that someone was outside the window. He ran out there but no one was there. I called my friend but she never answered. We called the police and they thought I was crazy until I told them to check my friend's apartment. I went there when the police did and she was passed out and chained up on the living room floor with what looks like chocolate all over her until the smell hit us. It definitely was not chocolate. The email and the video disappeared. This still haunts me years later and she's still scarred mentally. I have not been on the dark web since.